we usually post up the song the day before so that you're able to, get involved, what's going on. So please follow us on Twitter so that you can check out the song we are going to be reviewing today. But the first song we're going to be reviewing is by the Viper, aka Vector the Viper. And it's called Mind Games.
I was actually wrong.
I just missed what you want to say.
No, she didn't mix it all.
I was trying to,
She was trying to put her just inside.
Where's the script?
I'm coming.
It's not here, right?
It's there. Girl, where is it?
Let's go back.
Hellfire Killer
that's the one.
Instinct
Sorry,
1.
just check for me. Okay, so the Vector, the Viper, is back, and we have something to say about that song. Who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first so that I leave the experts, because we know that when it comes to these things, my lovely brother here is the expert. Well, this song is titled Mind Games, Fake Hype and Exposure, and is housed under his forthcoming album project, Vibes Before Teslim. So Teslim, I think the name of the album, Teslim, is the one he did in memory of his father, because his father passed, was it last year or 2 years ago? So this one is the Vibes Before Teslim. Yeah. Okay. And it talks about how people's I would personally relate it to a lot of things. Okay, so there's a video of an FSARS guy. Of course, we all know what FSARS is, and he was using a wood or something to hit someone. Then there was another clip of a suitcase being snatched and given to a boy, and then there was a boy wearing headphones and handing it over to a girl. So it was just, I think he's talking about, I would think, because I'm waiting for interpretations. I'm sure people will criticize the song or analyze the song, but I think he's talking about the passing over of traditions. Unfortunately, some of the negative cultures and traditions, or hype more like. So for example, internet fraud and corruption and all these things, they become fashionable, and how people are putting themselves under undue pressure to be able to meet up to a certain expectation, such that reality is totally different from what is the truth. Their reality is it's different. It's not the truth. But it's very deep. Vector the Viper is deep. He's so deep that if you look somewhere, you can see oil. They're too deep.
He's a conscious rapper.
Very conscious.
I respect
rapper.
Vector because he's never afraid to speak his truth.
And I respect him because he's standing true to this in an era where people are tilting towards a different kind of music.
Yes.
So still being able to do this deep stuff and say, rappers and this and other rappers, like everybody, just like Emma said, rappers are all singing. Yes, rappers need to fix up their life. They're all singing to get popular. Everybody's singing to get popular, doing a certain kind of music, but Vector is sticking true to his roots, and I commend him for that.
That's right.
I mean, you said it all pretty much. Even when you're trying to back off as if you didn't really care, but you get the message.
I do.
Yeah, so for any Vector fan out there, or anybody that listens to rap music, you just know that Vector never comes short when it comes to the rhymes, the bars, the message, the punchlines. Vector is very deep. Vibes before Teslim,
yeah.
It's just they're short messages. If you follow his Instagram, you see that he puts out stuff every now and then, and they're just not regular. Even when Vector does like a dance song, or if you listen to him, you still catch the witty bars, the witty lines. He's a very, very deep rapper. He's a very, very brilliant guy. And if you have a chat with Vector, you just know that he's not your regular average guy. He's deep, So shout out to Vector. Beautiful, very, very dramatic video. It tells dramatic. The message, it's black and white, it's very grungy, it's hip hop straight up. And it's Vector.
And it's short. The video is very short. I like how short it is. Just sends the message, boom, done.
Just there. I mean, thanks. You mentioned that he's a very intelligent human being. We had him on the show a few months back. And yes, we can testify to the fact that he's an intelligent rapper. And you know the difference from just a gong, who's a grunge or gong, rapper, to someone who's actually deep and who's thinking about the lyrics before he actually writes. So yes, we love Vector here on Smooth 98.1 FM. What do you think, Val?
I've said what I thought.
What did you say?
I said he's very conscious. He's a conscious rapper. He's not afraid to speak his truth. Attention
No, because it was so short. I didn't know.
It was as short as Vector's video.
nice one.
Thank you. No, I should take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to know
Cure-
what
it's
you
cure
think
ED.
about the video and the song. So let us know on Twitter or on WhatsApp what you think about Vector mind games, fake hype, and exposure.
But you put on to play. Oh, that song barely dropped like how many days ago? I think it's like
Well, that's what we're here
2
for.
days ago. You
It's
people are very proud.
Grapevine, new
sorry.
song.
I need to lecture both of you because you just came back from leave and you've been away for So we have a direct channel. You know what? No need to gloat. We have a direct channel with this record label.
That's how you
just
roll
so
because
know,
that's how
yeah.
started.
Look how you just
Thank
threw
you.
me under the bus, as
Ah.
if I don't have a direct channel. Oh, you
I
just
say
came.
we.
You just did. I have a direct channel to.
And you will always have a direct channel
So
in
sometimes
life.
when I ask for when they put some songs that I don't understand, they say, "Oh, it's the producer."
It's the
We don't know
producer.
about
Oh yeah,
it. So shout
I
out to
see.
you guys.
Alright, so Spado is saying, to be honest, Vector is one of the rappers we should all reciprocate or appreciate. He's a storytelling rapper. I love his prowess when it comes to flows.
I love him, but of course, people, I already know. So my
He's
favorite
not very
rapper.
popular at the moment.
I
but we're gonna
know,
talk about
I
him soon.
know.
But let's look at.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll find out. All right. Okay. So before we talk about Aka yeah, let's look at another song. We have another song. CK featuring DJ Lambo is here with Way. Let's hear what you think.
Wow.
Aka.
I have said that. For real.
Check this one. I'm thinking there are so many of them back there.
Can I say something?
Yes. No, you can't say. We're coming back now. Children of God, are you ready? Okay. Mic is up. Studio is live.
This is how a
Studio is
DJ
live.
is supposed to feature in the song.
Way with CK.
Featuring DJ Lambo.
Yo.
This is Grapevine Way. If you listen to the song, they kept saying way. So this is Grapevine Way, and this is the analysis of music way. And I really think that this is how DJs usually should feature in song way. I mean, at the point I was like, oh, featuring DJ Lambo. Which part did I was almost going to call him like, hello Lambo. They say you featured in this song. Which
Is
part?
that a shade to a DJ who actually sang in a particular song?
Please, she was crying on Instagram recently. Let's not.
Oh, I thought you guys were
Yeah.
even talking about the other guys. Okay, that's
No,
fine.
the other guys actually do not sing.
They don't single.
It's only one DJ that
Are you
likes
kidding
to
me?
sing.
It is I. That's one.
No, that one is not singing. I was just
That's
like,
hype.
Cool DJ Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's what they
Greatness.
do.
that's what they do really.
So-
But then again, the only people who dare to reach for greatness are those who dare to stand out. So shout out to the DJ that sings. Now back
to
To copy this.
no, nah. Okay.
Greatness.
So back to this DJ that we're talking about.
endorsements in the company.
DJ Lambo. I liked I liked the song. I saw a comment somewhere. Someone said that Zlatan would have killed it, and I thought, that's
That makes
actually
sense.
true. When you listen to the intro, it's Zlatan. It sounded like a Zlatan type song, and this guy is doing really well for himself. CK,
Yeah. Oh.
he's under Chocolate City Group,
Yes.
and of course, Lambo is the Chocolate City first lady. So
president,
at the end, I like the fact
She's
that
not first lady,
okay, sorry,
she's president.
president.
Thank you.
She did not say a lot in the song. It was just like, it's Shack of the Ocean, DJ Lambo. I like all those. Just
Subtle.
you understand? It wasn't a lot. She didn't do
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, she doesn't
It was
need
just
to.
all right.
She's a president. So,
Yes.
You know,
And
act
I
like
like-
a president when you.
President don't really
Don't
talk too
talk
much, like in many countries. So, wow, Ayo.
This is the
I'm
show is
done.
hot today.
It is.
James, please tell us. James Silas, tell
CK
us.
yo. I think CK is also another brilliant rapper. If you know the way he puts, if you heard Container, is it Container?
Yes, continue.
Continue, Alan, they are good.
Allowed to go and here you see he has that. He has a way of. I don't want to say it's an MI thing because it's one of the things.
Please, nobody can be like Emma in
put
this
the
world.
lyrics-
Let's not quarrel.
Yeah, nobody wants to be like
put the
Emma at
words
the moment.
and then drop another like a synonym that qualifies the sentence. What did you just say?
Nothing. Don't.
About
Just
Emma?
keep
No,
it going.
no.
Hey,
Wow.
like I can walk out of this show. You don't even
Wow.
understand.
Anyway, CK yo. Let's go to the next.
All right, let's go. We need to go to our stories today. But if you'd like to tell us what you think about CK's song, let us know on Twitter. Let us know on
The song
WhatsApp
is
as
fire.
well. CK and Way. But let's go to our stories. You've been throwing, subliminal mind game kind of.
Shit.
Look at you
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Even me and Emma, I need to release a song. After the whole debate is over. All right. Okay, so let's talk about YC and AK. Actually, let's talk about AKA. So
Aka.
AKA, also known as
Kaya.
I hope he's listening. So why say AKA, by the way, for those who don't know, because a lot of people were trolling him saying, who is that?
AKA? Who is AKA was trending on
Trending
Twitter.
AKA is a celebrated South African rapper. He has over 1 million followers on Instagram. He's very well known. He has baby mama and so many.
He's currently dating DJ Zinle.
Zinle, yeah. And by the way, so during I think was the World Cup, South Africa lost to Nigeria. And AKA put up a tweet saying, "Oh man, he wish they'd lost to someone else." And I was trying.
This is bigger than football.
He actually said we should have lost. We should have just lost to Egypt rather than Nigeria. It's a hard pill to swallow, man. We keep on losing to Nigeria in every way.
In everywhere in capital letter, in everything,
well,
or rather.
It says I'm hurt, man. The match was bigger than football. The biggest rivalry on the continent. Why do we always have to lose against Nigeria at everything?
Yeah, everything in capital letter.
Oh, do you think? For me, that was almost like an affirming statement as to the fact that we're the giant of Africa. But a lot. Now, that's why you should be careful about what you write or tweet or say online, because when there's trouble, it could be misconstrued. So now we've had these xenophobic attacks in South Africa, and people went to dig up these old...
YC, to be precise.
Yes, no, YC and a number of other people. But YC, because he's a celebrity, and other people who had then gone back to saying, oh, look at what this man had tweeted in the past. Obviously, in fact, some people even said it was one that started the attacks. Like this tweet. Yeah, some people said that, it was this tweet it was the tweet that triggered the attacks. Guys, that's wrong. So YC said he condemned AK's words, saying our government, I'll just read a few of YC's tweets. Our government needs to do a whole lot better and treat this matter with urgency, the same urgency we used to fight apartheid with them in the past. Worst part of this thing is South Africans or any other foreign nationals will never feel unsafe. Okay, so it goes on to see where he wrote about AKA actually. Okay, right.
He said something here. He says, bro, if you refuse to see the underlying implications of what you tweeted, there's really no need to go back and forth. As public figures, we should always recognize the strength our platforms carry. I have no agenda or narrative to push. I'm just deeply hurt, and that's that.
In fact, the actual tweet that pulled out all that was when he said, there is this subtle dislike that a lot of them, if not all, feel towards Nigerians. And no matter how hard they try to hide it, it eventually jumps out. Like when AK had a full childish grown man tantrum when they lost to Nigeria in the Nations Cup.
All right, so that we have a fuller, because we're going to, instead of so we don't pick in little bits, let's just look at all the celebrities' reaction to AKA, because some people stood for him and said, oh, he's being misunderstood. MI. And then some people were like, what's his name? Burna Boy came hard.
Burna Boy, Skills, who else? Ice Prince.
But the Oga Patapata of them all is Wizkid. But I will come back to
It was Burna's comment.
No. Wizkid abused all of them. Say all of his celebrities fighting each other on Instagram.
Oh, really?
He finished all of them, which I kind of really like.
But
you know, Starboy.
All right, let's talk about this then.
My goodness.
Before we talk about this, we need to go on a break. When we come back, let's gather our thoughts.
You
shut us up.
So you call suspense. You guys don't watch Nigerian movies.
They don't understand.
All right. So you know that part, dun, then about to drop. But yeah, let's go on a break. We'll be back.
You don't know Fakado. You don't want people that.
Thank you, Jerry. Soundtrack. About to enter. You said,
hold your thought.
Hold that thought.
We'll be right back. To God be the glory. You are lucky with
God be my
glory.
To God be my glory. No, to God be my glory. That's what they say these days. After that, for Mr. Foreign, hallelujah. Let somebody shout hallelujah to Jesus be my glory. So whenever I see people on Instagram writing to Jesus be my glory, it's that guy that is written.
Right now. Let me see.
Oh my days.
No, put it on.
No, I need a shorter line now. Because we have a lot to talk about.
Let me see on manual. Put on manual.
Ew, please.
Change your ISO to maybe. Change to. Let's try 250. Take a picture. Let's see.
My mommy sent me a very timely message.
I'm coming.
I can do this to get all of this so I can close them.
Are you trying to insult me?
As Valentine is busy, let's ask.
Are you trying to diss me?
Ollie, please.
Yeah, you making it worse.
What's wrong with you? I'm trying to do this
So go to like 800.
so that I can close apps on Valentine's phone. Can you help me?
Wow.
I was going to say exactly.
She actually did it just now.
Oh, let me see.
I think she got it.
I got it for her now. She now jabot.
Look at what's going on in the studio. We're all doing different things. I'm the only one concentrating on the show.
Sorry.
Valentine is a photographer.
I'm here.
AKA, what are the problem? Who are the names of the photographer?
AKA T.Y. Bello, AKA Emmanuel Oyeleke, AKA Kelechi Amadio.
All
right.
How do I get to all the apps that are open?
So we open up plenty of apps.
No.
And who is going to be the Jumoke in this show? The
No,
one-
I'm the one that's going to blow.
Wow.
Take me a random
So she can be
I want
Jumoke.
to Jumoke and my T.Y. Bello. Launch me to
Sure.
destiny.
You're not from. You have the sweetest
Ayo, did you see
smile.
Valentine beating me? Domestic violence.
Valentine has the sweetest smile. Let me smile
Yeah,
small
he
before
has-
his
he
fiancé
has
be
a
watching
nice
live.
smile.
Please,
I
thank you.
feel, I feel like your fiancé might shape for me because I'm always showing you plenty love in your comments.
DJ Zinle is the baby mama. Yeah, he was dating Bonango. He's still dating
They are
Bonango.
still
No,
dating,
they
Joe.
broke up.
They are-
They broke up, they
No.
They broke up.
When did they broke up? Let me break up.
Oh, was
Last
that
year.
No lie, no last year.
They broke up, they
It's
broke
a
up.
lie. I saw him. I went to his page recently. Let me go. AKA Worldwide.
We did not take our picture for the weekend. We must take it today.
We'll have a whole day. Don't worry.
White sneakers gang. Oh, yeah, guys, we need
Oh, so
to.
you can take it by except take it
Let's
for
continue.
food.
That's why I said I should go and be reading my stories.
Oh my God.
They are dating 4 weeks ago. DJ Zinle he posted a Happy Women's Day, and she puts thank you, daddy.
No. Oh, yeah, guys, welcome back. She's his baby mama. Mike's up. Studio is live.
Put back on, Tomato.
Right, you're welcome back, and we are about to dive in straight into our stories for today. We already teased it before the break, so you're just tuning in. We're talking about the AKA versus all Nigerian celebrities, or most Nigerian celebrities, this morning on the Grapevine. So we have some comments though from the songs from earlier on. Although Supergirl says, from Lekki says, my vector is brilliantly fire. CKO, he really got me dancing to that vibe. And his container song, it's also brilliant for a rapper to make us dance.
Did you just see Olori Supergirl?
Olori Africa.
Olori Africa, is that what I said?
Yeah, I said Olori
sorry,
Supergirl. I
Olori
was just like,
Africa.
oh.
I beg your pardon.
What's your name? Ibrahim says, you guys even posted it. Oh, he's talking about a different picture. Tunde from Abulegba says, Wizkid never took a stand. That can't be the Oga of them all. He's a coward. Woo.
Hey.
Boy. Ali from Ababa said, you guys didn't mention the actual tweets by AK that triggered YC, which
But
is,
we already mentioned.
No,
imagine
there was another one.
he quoted the tweet. He says, imagine the uproar when I say, stay in your country.
He deleted it. AKA later deleted. He
Okay.
actually said, yeah, he actually said it. So it
No,
was after
before that,
tweet-
imagine your opera.
No, but it was after that tweet, this imagine the uproar, that people then went back to his previous tweet. So yeah, I remember he had said after this. So this was his immediate response to the
Well,
homophobic
I
attack.
don't really agree because I went on his page to read tweets. Because when I saw it, I just felt, oh, this should just be football bans, really. Because to be fair, we say the worst things about Ghana Jollof whenever we're talking about
Right.
the Jollof wars. We say terrible things. We abuse their Jollof, abuse them on top, and there's just this like cousin rivalry
But
between
do they
Nigeria and
take it to
Ghana.
heart?
But they don't, and we love each other.
That's what I'm
regardless.
saying. It was just
However,
his tweet
no,
that made people now go
I want
back
to make
to-
reference to something about this tweet because I went on his page that all of us were feasting on his page. I'm sure he should have just capitalized and done adverts because people were
telling you.
visiting his page. I saw a tweet where he said, because people were telling him, don't come to Nigeria. If you do, we'll do this. He was like, oh, now, so I shouldn't come to your country, right? Then after that, he now tweeted, imagine if I said stay in your country.
Yeah.
So people just take one thing and interpret it out of context. So there was already a tweet before them because people were already threatening him not to come to Nigeria.
that was,
no, he
that was
has
in the end. He
left
also
it.
adds another tweet. It says, cancel us all.
Yeah.
How do you not
So in that
interpret
case, no, in that case, so where I fault AKA in all of this, I would have said initially that this was just football bans and
Yeah.
people can just be very emotional when things happen. However, the moment he realized it was causing a problem, he should have quickly come out to clear the air. I'm like, no, it was just football bans. That's not what I meant, and left it there and left it to people's interpretation. But he started engaging people on Twitter and even spoke their language in South Africa, their language to what's that their language, Afrikaans, or what do they speak there?
No, it wasn't Africans he spoke. It was, no, it was, no.
I don't know what he spoke, Sha, but
Swahili.
Yeah.
Swahili, yeah.
Oh,
And then he insulted people. It was a very derogatory comment that I cannot say on radio. So he just tweeted that. And of course, Google Translate is our helper in time of need. People went to go and translate it and say, oh, this is what you meant,
Yes.
right? So that is exactly where I fault AK.
Yeah,
in all
but
of
did you
this.
see the comments that were that Nigerians can be savage when it comes to defending even people who don't have anything. It was horrible. They were
Yeah.
giving they they were making death threats, even at some of our celebrities. I saw some people with blue ticks going under AK and trolling him, and I was thinking, nah, this is.
I even think that yes, Burna Boy. I love Burna Boy. I respect Burna Boy. I like the fact that he took a stand. He's got to take a stand.
Yes.
That. But I felt like he took it too far at the moment he started threatening his life. As public figures, one should realize that you're responsible for what you say, and if you feel like you goofed, own up. Which is where AKA should have owned up. AKA should have owned up that okay, no, look, I goofed, guy. It wasn't. It's not what you think. It was just football bans. When you keep quiet, sometimes you leave people to multiple interpretations. You don't think it was
but the
football
whole
bans?
football part was really, really old. Yeah, I think YC was trying to address the whole xenophobia thing going on, and made mention of AKA in the light of what he had said before. AKA now put out a picture and said, I think about this AKA
that was wearing
he had the
Nigerian
flag of Nigeria on the background of him. I think it was Fela.
Fela,
Yes. And then YC now put out another and said, no, I'm talking about this AKA, which had those tweets, those bans that you're talking about, the football one. But let's even try to tilt away from this whole AKA thing in the light of why people are blaming or why the celebrities are going at each other. And still bring it back to the fact that we have a government. And we're talking about two countries here. We have a government. They have a government today. Conversation should go beyond this social media that we are even, because what can we do? We just insult AKA, this one will insult that one, this one will insult the other one. Nothing will happen there. That's not where the decision will be made, or that's not where the actual solution will be preferred. So let's look at the government actually, how the government is supposed to go, and maybe it has started happening. That conversation aside, is probably ongoing by going by some of the stories I've heard this morning. But yes, the heat will always be like this. It is social media. Anybody will wake up. You will even get worse comments if you dig further. But truthfully, it's a sad thing that's going on, and this is not the first time that it's happening. And we need to take a stand. We need to actually voice out.
All right, now talk about taking a stance, and I'm glad you mentioned that. We're going on break now. When we come back, we'll look at some celebrities who've taken a hard stance. Some of them have cancelled shows, cancelled performances. Some have said they're not going for an award ceremony. Basketball, Tiwa Savage. Some people have even come up. We'll be talking about someone who cried as well. I don't know if it was in relation to the.
No.
Well, not in public.
That was a rhetorical question.
Oh, wow.
All right. So we're going to break now. When we come back, the show continues. We're looking at Tiwa Savage basketball cancelling performances. But also, we'll talk about another celebrity. Emma, I think we still not talking about
Emma, belong with
right.
my
Piers
wife.
Morgan is again talking about Prince Harry.
Oh,
Meghan
yeah.
Markle, what's going on there? Stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly.
This is quite
I'm sorry, that was
nice.
an
We don't have a
unintentional
lot of stories. Like me, it's quite nice. We didn't have a lot of stories, and because we know we never finish our stories, so this is quite nice.
That was.
We will touch every story here, which never
I'm going
happens.
to touch everything. No, the
Okay.
stories that you added are not. I'm not going. It's the only one that is.
The ones you said is the only ones that I'm interested in. Piers Morgan and xenophobia. Piers Morgan should calm down.
And that's what I was going to tell. Only Piers Morgan and okay, we'll come back now,
We're
guys.
still talking about xenophobia, Sha.
And just that one, very shortly, then go to Piers because I have a few minutes left.
Because we need to use this opportunity to address the madness people are doing.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Then they shall come to freshly press.
Sorry.
Okay, guys, mic is up. Studio is live. Yeah. Oh, that was your cue.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. So we have Jake Silas, obviously, and Olive Emodi.
Hi.
This is the Grapevine. It's brought to you by Verve. Cruz says, Valolo, please stop shading Ayo. That's what I do for a living. Huh? Says stop shading Ayo on L. We go verse for you. Baba James for president.
Thank you, my dear Cruz.
Lovely
Thank you
But
so
Cruz
much.
is all love. You know that. Right?
No, speak for yourself.
This one that they are taking tweets, they will take your statements and they will interpret it to
Thank you
whatever
very
you say or do will be used against you in the court of law.
Wow.
Wow.
Sal says, it's getting serious. Sal says, well, it wasn't just football bans. It goes beyond that. Guys, I think this should be a wake-up call for all Africans. We need to look beyond just Nigeria, but this affects all Africans.
True.
African governments isn't African government. Okay.
Yeah.
Governments
Yeah.
are not just working just like Nigeria. It's also painful that our government cannot see the urgency in the issue as it needs to be addressed by not just cancelling or pulling out of forum or
True.
fora.
And the funny thing is, I took too long for all that to happen, to be honest.
Mhm.
Sometimes you want people to speak up, and I feel like if we had heard something strong, if we had heard something positive,
Yeah.
it would not have resulted into all that it has resulted
Absolutely.
into. The same way, if AK had come out to clear the air about what he meant, it would have not degenerated
That's
into
what I'm saying. That I
into
don't
this.
think his intentions were really pure because he didn't come out. I think now he's come out to apologize and now try to temper. You
No,
know,
he's not really like he's apologizing to me. He's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, you know, we're one Africa, blah blah blah.
Africa.
The one I don't approve of is people sending death threats to
Yes.
to him and to his baby mama. So the Jezinle, if you go to her page, she's turned off her comment section, and I know why. It's obvious
Yes,
that the reason
it's
she's doing
obvious,
that because I saw some people mentioning her in his comment section, saying stuff about he will not come home to you, he
Oh,
will not
gosh,
go
that's
home. I
horrible.
pray that you will not make it out. So many things. People praying for death.
All right, now let's talk
Just
about other
painful.
celebrities who've taken another route to addressing this, which is not attending their shows in South Africa. What impact do you think this will have? So Tiwa Savage has said she's devastated. She's cancelled her performance at the upcoming DSTV Delicious Festival. DSTV is also owned. It's a South African-owned company. Then Basket Mouth has said he's not going to be attending the comic festival, Choice Awards in South Africa as well. So, do you think this will make a strong statement?
Absolutely.
I think
Yes.
it already has, because the Comic Choice people, the organizers, have already released a statement reacting to Basket Mouth's publication, saying that they regret the fact that he's not coming, but also trying to do some damage control to assure the other people who are invited that if you consider granting this invitation, that will ensure your security and
And if I have my way, those other people that we're talking about, we're not talking about assuring or ensuring our security because of this event. It's not about this event. It's about how your people, how your government have allowed this xenophobia thing to reoccur over time. Yes, it's going to make a statement. It's going to pass a strong message. At the end of the day, Nigeria is still the giant of Africa when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to a lot of things. Yes, it's a shame that we still have our lapses as a people, even as our government. But it doesn't rule out the fact that we still run this entertainment continent. So by withdrawing or by not participating in a lot of these things, yes, they will feel the impact.
And more importantly, because celebrities have a voice, so people would naturally gravitate towards these celebrities do. This is not the first time a celebrity is pulling out of a show because they don't feel like. In the US, we see that happen all the time. They will probably not perform in a country where they feel like, oh, they don't support LGBT rights because they support LGBT rights. So we see celebrities using their platforms to make a strong statement. It might not be like a big deal to the average man, but in actual sense of it, it is a big deal because they're losing a lot of money in this regard. They're giving up a lot of money because of what they believe.
They are. I can't imagine how much at least Tiwa Savage would have made by performing or what she had been promised.
They would have paid her, and I hope she doesn't refund. Yes.
Oh,
they
sure.
would
No, I
have-
hope she does.
No, she
No,
has to
she
refund.
No, she should.
She has to
It
refund.
makes a stronger
No
statement
refund
when you
policy.
do.
Exactly. Don't take our money if you
no,
don't want to.
Exactly.
No, we
That's
paid us already. We spent that money actually. I'm not going to refund you.
All right, let's talk about.
Embarrassment.
Come and collect the money in Nigeria.
Let's move away from South Africa. Let's go to the UK. So Piers Morgan, for those who don't know Piers Morgan, he's a social media. He's bigger than social media.
He's a bigger troll.
Yeah, he's a bigger troll. No, he's not a troll.
He is.
But he was once America's Got Talent judge.
Judge.
He's also a commentator, and now he's talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. So apparently, Prince Harry and Meghan had said that because they wanted to reduce carbon footprint, they are big advocates. They said we're not going to have only 2 children, but they've been on summer holiday, and in the past 11 days they've flown how many times using private jets? Many times. And of course, we know that taking commercial airlines is a lot better for the environment than going private, because then you're flying with more people than just a few people going with a private jet. So
I read an article that rebutted that too, but we'll come into that.
So Piers Morgan is saying that Harry has to decide whether he wants to be a senior royal or in quote a gas guzzling celebrity following his recent private jet controversy.
Okay, so in reaction to that, we know first of all we can't deny that many people will come and tell that there's no climate change. We're seeing what's happening around the world. We're seeing Hurricane Dorian happening in the Bahamas every day.
Fire at Amazon.
You understand? There's so much that is going on. We're seeing, but people are very
Back home in
ignorant.
Nigeria, look at how the weather has switched.
Exactly. We don't know when it's Harmattan or when it's dry season or it's rainy
That's
season
still like the
anymore.
rainy season though, but go on.
Nah, it's extreme. However, more and more conversations are being had about climate change. Now we know that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are very big on climate change. However, people have called them hypocrites. So earlier in the year, they took a flight from London to Birmingham 2 days before they went to speak at a climate change summit. So it's like, why are you taking a private jet if you're coming to talk about this? But the truth is, there's some things that cannot totally be avoided. So there are ways to go around it. So it was Elton John that invited them to their home, and what he said was, because he put out a post to say that he had a very great relationship with the mother, Princess Diana, and because of this same media influence, it affected, or it led in some way affected her death, and that he would not want that to happen to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. He would like their privacy, and that he was the one that personally ensured that they come on a private jet, and he paid the required amount. He did the required carbon offset. So with carbon offset, is like you find out how much carbon am I releasing into the atmosphere and how much can I pay. So with trees, I think they say one tree is equivalent to absorbing 48 tons of carbon dioxide a year, 48,000 tons of metric tons or something in that regard. So exactly. So it's like, okay, if I'm putting in this much, then I must give back. So they're voluntary organizations that what they do is they plant trees and they just basically do things. They have a company that ensures that we have a green environment. So in getting, it's just like saying, no, if I'm going to be committing this, if I'm going to be doing this, releasing this amount of carbon, then I must pay. So he said he did the required carbon offset. So why are they trolling them?
Wouldn't it be interesting if our government officials thought like that?
Yeah,
Really?
That's a very long
private jet.
call.
When you're going to Ibadan, you take private jet.
They don't even understand the concept.
You're going to Ikeja, you take
This
private
whole
jet.
Climate change?
Oh yes, we're still using PET bottles everywhere.
Right.
We're drinking some of our favorite brands in plastic bottles, which
We
is
still don't believe in smart cars.
oh no, we're basically still having cars that have a great emission of greenhouse gases. Many people do not know what a greenhouse gas is, but what we're saying is that according to reports, in another 10 years, we would have an irreversible damage done to the environment. But everybody says, oh, it's not my problem. It's my children's problem or my children's problem.
Yeah,
you know,
that kind of thing.
but that's really a problem.
But Emma from Akoka sent in a message. He said, my take, he actually sang the song, it's not me.
Not good.
He said, my take is that being popular and being intelligent are not complementary good.
That was loud.
Sad that things took this route. When they go low, we go high. Billy can Billy, olive and let live.
Thank you. That's how Emma.
You see why I said that Emma is always my favorite.
And then this says Piers Morgan is simply obsessed with Meghan. That's why he keeps stalking her family. I tend to
the
agree
same
with
way
you,
her
Andy.
father is obsessed with her, because her father too has come out to call them a hypocrite as well, because they refuse to allow him see baby Archie. Oga,
If you were the one,
rest.
would you allow him to see Archie?
I don't think so. I didn't really think that much.
Okay, all right. So we need to go. Time, honestly, like when we're having fun, time goes so quickly. Yeah, but just as mentioned, YouTube has removed over 100,000 videos and over 17,000 channels for violating its hate speech rules. So if you're one of them, please, I think we must applaud them for this.
I do applaud them, because one of the accounts, or some of the accounts that they highlighted, are accounts that have been in denial of the Holocaust. There's some glaring facts about in history that you shouldn't necessarily.
It's like somebody coming to do a video and saying civil war never happened in
Thank
Nigeria.
you very much. Imagine that.
Then you can't put it on YouTube and you're spreading that kind of stupid information out to people.
Yeah.
So shout out to YouTube for the amazing work they're doing in trying to curtail the amount of negative information out there.
All right. So guys, you want to plug out?
Plug out first.
James Silas, live in the building, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Google.
LinkedIn.
Bye.
To go.
Wow.
All right. Follow me at Olive MOD on all social media platforms, and you can also follow at the Olive MOD Network.
On Tinder?
No, I'm not on Tinder, and I don't swipe left.
Swipe left, swipe right. Right.
And I don't catfish.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Lagos, that's all we can take this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. If you still want to continue the gist, we're more than happy to gist with you online. So please go onto Twitter, follow us at Smooth91FM, use the hashtag Grapevine981. And if you'd like to share and spread the love of this video on YouTube, you can share our video. It's going to be uploaded immediately after the show. So please go onto YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Smooth91 on YouTube. For Valentine and me, for us, we are here. Lagos Talks 91 up next, where we talk about one of the probably xenophobia, and then you get the opportunity to call in and express yourself on this.
Hey,
Well done. Nice
Thank you.
analysis on it.
Yeah, nice one, guys. Well done.
Kazia.